Hey everyone, so welcome back to another favourites video, and in fact the first favourites video of the year. I wasn't sure if I was going to do January in terms of a favourites video just because January is always a bit of a non-month, but feels like it's gone on forever. It's still January now when I'm recording this. I think it's even still going to be January when I upload it. It's just a never-ending month and I don't know what's happened. So it feels like this month has been about 3, and yeah, I wanted to make a favourites video just to kind of sum up what I've been loving this month, what I've been using, doing. So let's just crack on and get into it. I wanted to start with some fashion bits, and in particular some hair accessories. Now you may have noticed I have a little thing on my head here. This is a headband, which is one of the things that I wanted to talk about. I'm so into hairbands. I feel like I'm 12 again, although I never lived up to my full hairband potential even when I was 12, so maybe I'm reminiscing it now. I don't know if this was a worldwide thing, but does anybody remember those velvet headbands with lettering on them, so you could get your name written on them in some kind of like neon chunky plastic lettering? And I was always obsessed with them and I could never find one with my name on it. Difficult name, spelling problems. Am I right? But yes, the headband that I'm wearing today is a very cool one. I'm very much into it. I actually have 2 here. They're both from H&M. This one is slightly different. It's more of a satin material, whereas this one's kind of just black. It's like a black headband with a twist at the top, and surprisingly I have been wearing this a lot. I feel like, especially now that I've been wearing my hair straight and it is getting longer, it's kind of the perfect accessory to pair with that. It just kind of adds a little bit of something, also makes your hair look less flat, which is always a good thing. So yeah, I really like these. They're really inexpensive as well. I think this one is maybe my favorite, although the black one does go with the most stuff. So really into hairbands at the moment, as well as some other hair accessories. These are 2 of my favorites and they are absolutely gorgeous. They're 2 big chunky gold hair clips. You can see they've got gold on the back there, but they're kind of embellished with these little pearls. One of them is a square, which I've been wearing a ton, and one of them is kind of just your standard hair clip shape. They're so cool and so like kitsch, tiny bit on the tacky side, but we love that. And I feel like these are so cool to just add into a very minimal, very chic, about as chic as I can manage type outfit. I think accessories are always the key, and this is a new avenue to explore. So these ones I got from Etsy. They're really affordable as well, and they're actually quite good quality. Loving pearls at the moment as well, as you can probably tell from my little earrings here. I'll link these down below as well for you guys. But yes, I have those 2, and then the final hair clip that I wanted to show you is a bit more of a out there one, but I love it nonetheless. This is actually from Oliver Bonus, and it's this amazing tortoiseshell clip with these little gems in them, which say glow. How adorable is that? It's actually quite a chunky crocodile clip, and I think this one looks really good when I have slightly curly and messy hair, and then just pin half of it back with the clip. Really into that one too. So that's my little hair accessory roundup. So from the impractical to the extremely practical, this is the complete other end of the scale. I wanted to talk about this coat. So this has been my big chunky winter coat, and I did buy this out of necessity. I bought this when I knew I was going to be in Scotland over New Year's. Scotland is very cold as it is, let alone in December and January. So this is what I bought to take with me to Edinburgh, and I actually wore it every single day. It was the warmest thing. It's such a thick, well-lined coat, and the shocker about this is that it's just from H&M. Now it's slightly more expensive for H&M. I feel like this was around the £70 mark, but it's such a good quality coat, and it's also very cool and simple and just easy to wear with any outfit. It's just a very simple black coat. It has a zip down the middle and little poppers, but it's a good length too. It is quite a long coat, and I think that's what makes it look a little bit cooler. It's got a big chunky hood, and the sleeves are great too because they have this kind of stretchy almost lining, so it really seals in all the heat and it stops any wind getting through. I really enjoyed wearing that coat while I was in Edinburgh. Took it up Arthur's Seat, walked around in it during Hogmanay, and it really did me well, and it's still going strong. It's what I take Moon out for a walk in now. It's basically my, if I'm leaving the house and it's cold, I'm going to throw this on coat. Then another more kind of slightly practical but also very fun and very cool fashion favourite I have are my dogs. So it's taken me 26 years to finally get myself a pair of dogs. I know some people have probably had them since they were maybe 16 and they still use them or wear them. That's very cool to me. But these are my very first pair, and I love them. I don't know why it's taken me so long to find the right pair for me, but these are actually a slightly different pair which I hadn't come across before. I thought they were new, but apparently they're not that new. They are the Pascal 8 eyelet boots, and the main difference in these is that they are such an incredibly soft leather. Look at that, they have not a lot of structure to them at all, but that's one of my favorite things about them. You can really tie the laces quite tight, and they almost have that like sock boot effect where they really hug your ankles. You get this nice contrast of a big chunky boot and then a slightly slimmer ankle, and I think that's what makes them so much more flattering. On me especially, I felt like when I tried pairs of Docs on in the past, they'd always been a bit too big and too chunky on me, but these, as soon as I got them, I just love them, and I really have worn these non-stop. I feel like the H&M coat and the Docs are all I have been wearing on my body this month. Because these are made to be soft as well, I didn't have to wear them in. I know I've heard horror stories, especially from Sam, who is a massive Doc lover and wearer, about the wearing in times and the sore feet and all things like that, but I just got my normal size in these. I got a size 7 and they are incredibly comfortable. They feel like walking on a cloud. Again, I walked all the way up Arthur's Seat in these, which is a very big hill, or possibly mountain, I think is a hill, for those of you who don't know. I'm just so happy with them, so glad I got them. I really have been enjoying styling them with a lot of different things, so big favourite this month for my my Docs. So something I got for Christmas that I was really excited about, that I wanted to talk about in this video as well, is an Instax camera. Now, I've never had one of these before. I feel like it's almost a rite of passage to be a blogger or Instagram YouTuber and have a disposable camera. As you guys know, I really got into film photography last year. I developed a lot of 35mm, which is still yet to see the light of day, most of it. So I thought something more instant would be really cool, and this is actually an awesome Instax camera because it's slightly different to any that I've seen before. It's the SQ6. It's very chunky looking, but that's because it prints out square photos, which I think are really cool. So what I decided to do with the photos is actually, instead of having them in a big stack or sticking individual ones up and losing them all, is to put them inside a photo album. How retro, right? I still have a couple floating around here that maybe don't need to be in there for everyone to see, but I picked up one of these photo albums from Paperchase. Now this is 100% down to Lily Pebbles, who talks about these quite a lot. She has the, I think, slightly bigger and brown paper versions, but she uses them to put all her photographs in, and I thought that was an amazing idea because it is a really simple book. If I show you some blank pages I have here, it's just black paper with a peel and stick. So you literally just lay your photographs down, pop the film back over, and you can take them in and out. They're not permanently in there, and it kind of just protects them and also keeps them all together, which I really like. I've got my little label maker out and just labeled this one Instax, and so far it's kind of full. I know some of you guys wanted me to flick through this, so we've got some photos from Christmas. I've also used the label maker to kind of just like write a little note on when they were taken. This one was New Year's Eve. Some other photos from while we were in Edinburgh, a night that we all played Scrabble together, and then my favourite page possibly, Moon's 3rd birthday, which was also this month. What should I talk about next? Let's do some beauty bits. My beauty favourites this month are kind of full. I usually don't have many beauty favourites to talk about because I'm very set in my ways and I like to stick to the same stuff, but I do have some new things. I featured this quite recently. If you guys have watched my Flower Beauty first impressions video, in which I tried out Drew Barrymore's makeup range, which has just come to the UK, very exciting. And I have to say, if you watch that video, it's a very positive video because I loved everything I used. In particular, these are the things that I've carried on using and have absolutely slotted straight into my makeup routine and been great. So the first one is the Supernova Celestial Skin Elixir, which I always forget the name of, but I got it right. That's quite a tongue twister. This is a really cool product. It's just somewhere in between skincare and primer. It really sits in the middle, and it's got this gorgeous oily texture to it, which sinks in and kind of smooths the skin out as a primer would do, but it just leaves such a glow. It has these really gorgeous kind of like light reflective iridescent particles in it, which just give your skin the juiciest, healthiest looking finish, and it works so beautifully under so many different foundations, not just the Flower Beauty one. I've tried it with quite a few others since then, and I love it. So I feel like this is such a good product if you have dry skin and your foundation never quite looks as dewy or as radiant and fresh as you'd like it to. And then the foundation and the concealer, this is the Light Illusion foundation and the Light Illusion concealer, surprisingly enough. These two I was really impressed by. I'm not sure why I wasn't expecting to be, but they, from first application, as you guys would have seen in the video, wowed me. They have continued to wow me. This concealer is amazing. I'm quite a stickler for concealers and it takes a lot to impress me, but this is super full coverage but still creamy and lightweight in a very confusing way, but I like it a lot. And the foundation just seems to glide on so effortlessly. It really gives a very beautiful radiant finish, and yet it has a reasonable coverage to it. It's kind of medium, light to medium if you really blend it in. I think this is great. It's drugstore, it's easy to get hold of, and it's through Barrymore, so 10 out of 10 points for that. So this month I actually went and got a facial. This was completely off my own back. I'm very lucky to live right by a little spa. I try and get a facial every so often, but it's something that is more of a treat really. It's great to kind of do them as often as possible for your skin, but I kind of just book myself in now when I feel like I desperately need someone to fix my face. So I had an Elemis facial. I had the Biotech facial and I loved it. I've never come out of a facial and seen such a visible difference in my skin in the way that it was tightened and brightened. So I really enjoyed that, but I also picked up a couple of the products that were used on me. I got the Biotech cleanser and I also picked up the Biotech day cream, which comes in this very funky little duo pump, which supposedly delays the reaction of them working together. So as soon as they fuse together on your skin, then you get this amazing kind of lifting anti-aging effect. This cleanser is amazing in the morning. It smells like cinnamon or something kind of warm and slightly festive as well, so it's kind of been preserving my post-Christmas come down. It's a gel cleanser, so it foams up very slightly, but I wouldn't say it's a foam. It's almost like a really rich lather. It's really refreshing, but it also leaves my skin quite moisturized too, so I've been liking using that a lot to wake up in the morning, and also if I feel like I need to do a second cleanse, I will use that one because it is so light. And then the moisturizer, I wasn't expecting to like as much, but it just seems to be the perfect amount of hydration, of absorption, and brightening. So it doesn't completely sink into my skin, it just leaves the right amount of kind of product on there. You know, you want to feel like you have something left over when you put your day cream on. Works beautifully underneath makeup as well, and I feel like my skin, although it's not at its best at the moment, I have some stress-induced breakouts, but it's just made the rest of my skin look a lot more glowy, and the texture's almost improved, I think, just from having a really good moisturizer in my routine. So I'm happy with these two. So I wanted to talk about a perfume here as well. This is the cutest little thing. I actually got this in my Liberty advent calendar last year, and it's from Labo. I'm seriously hoping this is from the permanent range and it's not just something that was in the advent calendar, because I love it. It's called Another 13. It's really cool. It says compounded at Liberty on 24th of December for Merry Christmas. And I know that Labo are quite a customizable brand. They kind of make up your fragrance in store for you right in front of you, which I think is amazing, and they print all your name and things out on the label. I haven't really smelled any of their scents before, but this one I absolutely love, and it really reminds me a lot of the Molecule 01 perfume, which is such a throwback. I feel like it's been years and years and years since I wore that. It's got that kind of very skin enhancing scent where it's so hard to describe, but it kind of just smells like you but better. That's the only way I can think of talking about it. It's also got this slightly muskier but still quite uplifting smell to it. It's such a difficult one to explain. I think if you know what Molecule 01 smells like, it's along the same lines of that. So that's been my favourite perfume of the month, and I'm probably gonna have to look into seeing if they do this in a larger size because I don't want it to run out. So the last thing I wanted to talk about were some homey bits. Homey bits always excite me a lot, and as you can see, I've got a very neutral kind of thing going on here right now, which I'm enjoying. And this all kind of started with a pillow. This is such a long story, but this pillow here, which I guess I should show you, I saw a few people pick up and I thought that is an amazing pillow. I like this a lot. And it turns out it's from Primark and it was £10. Something very ridiculous for a pillow that came fully stuffed as well. It wasn't just the pillowcase, it was the full pillow. So I kind of set myself a little mission to track this pillow down, and I was in the Tottenham Court Road Primark. They had one left and I literally made a beeline for it, and I feel like I grabbed it away from somebody that was also kind of interested, but the pillow needed to be in my life. So that I was super happy with. And then I also had a little potter around in the rest of the home section because the Tottenham Court Road one has a massive home bit. I feel like it's been years and years since I went into Primark Primark, and I didn't realise how much they've actually expanded their home range. It's very different to when I was 17 and shopping when I should have been at college. So I got a couple of other bits as well. This is one of the things that I saw that I love. It's a kind of ceramic vase, and I thought the colour scheme was just so amazing. It's got this really nice stoneware feeling bottom, which is in a really gorgeous neutral colour, and then the top is like a glazed kind of cream. And I've actually been leaving this empty and not putting anything inside it, and I think it just looks very cool sat there on my table looking cute. And this one was £6 for a really great little sturdy feeling vase. Was so impressed by that too. I got this little gold vase, which I think is so pretty and cute. It's kind of got a faded gold foil down the front here, and I've got some wheat in there. And then this one, which has been sitting on my shelf behind me, is also from Primark. This was a couple of pounds as well. It's just a really nice, like, minimal, slightly Scandi looking candlestick holder, which I really like, again, just left empty. So that's been sitting over there too, and I love all of those bits so much. I'm gonna have to make it more of a habit to have a look in the Primark home section for little home furnishings and cute things like that, pillows, because I think those are some amazing finds. So if you have a Primark near you, go and scope them out, go and see if you can grab yourself a pillow before they all sell out, because I feel like they're too nice to stick around for too long. So guys, I'm gonna leave this video here because it's almost dark outside now, but thank you for all coming along and listening to me chat about my favourite things this month. Those are my January favourites. I will link everything that I can down below for you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you all soon. Bye!